performed an annexation, it's typically done within a year. We put in the city utilities within a year. I'd have to do some research on exactly what the,
I guess my question is, could Quick Trip, if the Board of Public Works and the council decided not to do it for 3, 5, or 8 years because of the cost, and it seems like it's significant cost, could Quick Trip sue to force the city to do it sooner? Would they have any basis for doing that? I mean, that would be a reason, if they did, that would cause a little more concern about approving the annexation.
I don't have an opinion on that exactly. I think the city's intention when looking at that area is to put onto the proposed capital improvements budget and have it as a project to fund. But you are correct, the capital improvements project list cannot guarantee anything because that list, that budget has not been approved at this time. So that would be a matter that the council would have to take up at such time. I'd have to get an opinion to actually be able to give you an answer on.
Say, I'm not an attorney, so I don't have an opinion on that.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Katie, Jared, just to recap, all we're asking to have done tonight is to have this streetway annexed so that we can provide services to Quick Trip. There's nothing existing in our current joint boundary agreements, having sat on that process myself, that indicates that there's a 10-year guarantee against anything. And that's been signed off by the town of Onalaska, the village of Holmen, and the city of Onalaska. Okay, thank you.
Paul and then Jim.
I have a couple of more questions. There used to be a letter of recommendation that would be received from the Department of Administration, either recommending that an annexation is or is not in the public interest. And do we have that letter? Or is that not done anymore?
It is still done. The city has not yet received the letter from the state.
Okay. Second question, a balloon on a string annexation like this used to be a big to-do that was a no-no. Is that acceptable? Is it acceptable practice now?
That is one of the things that the state would be including in their letter. They would be reviewing that. So I don't know what the state.
Katie, would you lean into your microphone a little bit more, please?
That is what the state will be commenting on in the letter. That's part of their purview, and they're making their recommendation that is in the interest or it is not in the interest.
So the question is, do we wish to make a recommendation without knowing what the state's recommendation is?
That's usually the way it happens, though, correct, Katie?
Sometimes we get the letter in time for the meeting, other times we don't.
Okay.
This is the preliminary step of one of several to formalize this. This is not the end-all, be-all.
Correct. It would go to the Common Council for consideration, and if moved forward, it would be a formal ordinance amendment that would work through the Administrative and Judiciary Committee, and again, the Common Council first and second and third and final readings of the ordinance.
Again, we're just considering this. We're not having a motion to move forward or anything. Is that correct? Or right now it's just a discussion, or?
That was your original motion.
Right, but are we looking for a recommendation from the Plan Commission right now to move forward or not move forward? Is that the idea?
Yes.
I know we'd like to be a good neighbor to the town of Onalaska too. As you can tell, there's more motions and more things that have to go through yet before anything is done. And I heard your concerns about the right-of-way on Abbey Road and your residents. I think, I'd like to make a motion to move forward with the annexation with the understanding that there's further discussion to be made with further discussion to be made regarding the annexation of the property.
Don't we have a motion on the floor already?
Those for discussion.
Yeah, the motion was for discussion, which was
Oh,
usually
okay.
accomplished.
Okay.
Jim, I'll second that.
So your motion is to do what again?
It's to move forward with a possible annexation, with the understanding there's going to be more discussion regarding the annexation of Abbey Road and the concerns of the citizens of the
Okay.
town of Onalaska,
To move forward.
With the conditions.
with the conditions,
Move forward with the
10 conditions.
10 conditions.
I'll second that.
Motion by Jim Benash, seconded by Craig Brightspecker. Paul, did you want to discuss something? Okay. Steve?
Go ahead.
In the year and a half, I guess, now that I've been on the commission, this is probably the agenda item that has the most drastic potential ramifications that I have so far seen. So I have very serious concerns about this. And again, I go back to what I had mentioned once before, that, in a pre-existing residence, boy, I just, I feel very uncomfortable with this right now.
Okay. Jan?
I had a question. We talked about, Paul discussed about Quick Trip coming back to the city. Condition 6 says the owner-developer shall connect to city water and sewer utilities within 1 year of annexation approval. Does that play into that?
City ordinance states you have to connect within 1 year of them becoming available.
When it's available?
That's standard.
Okay, gotcha. Also, we mentioned possible sidewalk when the road is improved with the curb and gutter and sidewalk.
That would
Is
have,
that something that comes before the Board of Public Works?
that would have to be a discussion point on the proposed roadway design.
And would that be assessed to the property owners when the
That would all-
roadway is put in, or?
All be a decision for the Board of Public Works on what would be accessible and what wouldn't be. Typically, the city is assessed for sewer and water, curb and gutter, and sidewalks. That's typically what the city has assessed for in the past.
Okay.
But they'd be deferred to anyone, and if they're not part of the city, they'd be a deferred assessment that would wait till annexation, yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Paul?
I have the same concerns that Steve does, but the road needs to be connected at some point. And the question is, do we do it? And I guess it's not our decision to connect it, but it's, if we prove the annexation, that's one of the probable results. But it's inevitable that it will be at some point.
Okay. Anybody else? So we have a motion on the floor. Would you read it back, please?
Motion to move forward with the annexation with the 10 conditions.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Nay.
Abstentions? So moved. Item 10. Review and consideration of a Pardon me? Review and consideration of a certified survey map, CSM, submitted by Leo Bronston, 1202 County Road, PH, Suite 100, Onalaska, Wisconsin, 54650, and on behalf of River of Life Assembly of God, Inc., 1214 County Road PH, Onalaska, Wisconsin, 54650. Somebody has, keeps wanting to change our,
Oh, yeah. Good catch.
to reconfigure two parcels, 2.69 acres at 1204 County Road PH and 1214 County Road PH, Onalaska, Wisconsin, 54650, tax parcel number 18-3544-0 and 18-3542-0. 80.
Thank you. As stated previously, the comprehensive plan has identified this area as commercial. The intent of this district is to accommodate large and small-scale commercial and office development. A wide range of retail, service, and lodging office uses are appropriate in this district. The purpose of the certified survey map is to reconfigure tax parcels 18-35440 and 18-3542-0, which is currently under review by the city of Onalaska. As stated, in order for parcel boundaries to be modified from taking from one parcel to the next, they have to be the same zoning designation. Currently, they do not match, which is the previous request on our agenda tonight. The applicant is seeking approval of the certified survey map. City staff have put forward 7 conditions of approval for this development.
Make a motion to approve the certified survey map submitted by Leo Bronston, tax parcels 18-3544-0 and 18-3542-0,
I'll
with the 7 conditions.
I'll second.
Okay, who seconded that? Okay, motion made by Jim Benage, seconded by Steve. Do you, I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind here for a minute. Just hang on a second.
Long day.
Okay, to approve the certified survey map with the 7 conditions. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay? Abstentions? So moved. Item 11. Review and consideration of a review or of request to extend the final plat submittal requirement for 1 year as requested by Dr. Leo Bronston on behalf of French Valley LLC, 1202 County Road, PH, Suite 100, Onalaska, for French Valley Neighborhood Plat, tax parcels 18-4480-0 and 18-4481-0 and 18-4482-1 and 18-4485-0. Katie.
Thank you. The comprehensive plan future land use plan designates this area as conservation cluster residential. The proposed development is currently consistent with the intent of that land use category. The general timeline began in January 8th of 2008 with a development agreement approved between the applicant and the Common Council. Starting in September of 2008, the Common Council has annually granted a 1-year extension for the filing of the final plat, with the most recent approval February 14th of 2018. I've included the relevant sections from the Unified Development Ordinance that allows that ability to extend the plat after 36 months of the date of the approval of the preliminary plat. The requested action is to approve a 1-year extension to April 9th of 2019, allowing the French Valley Neighborhood Final Plat to be submitted later than 36 months filing requirement after approval of the preliminary plat with the below conditions of approval. The first is the amendment of the March 2008 development agreement between French Valley LLC and the City of Onalaska prior to the commencement of any construction activities, including public improvements. Developer is advised to schedule adequate time for the amended development agreement to be reviewed and approved by both the city's Plan Commission and Common Council. The second is that all permits must be current prior to the start of any construction activities, including but not limited to sanitary sewer and water approvals from the Wisconsin DNR. All plans and specifications must be resubmitted to the city for review and approval, for example, the stormwater plan for the development.
Thank you. I will make a motion that we approve
With-
the extension. Pardon me?
2 conditions.
Yep.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Jim?
And when we had this at the subcommittee, we wanted to forward it here to the Plan Commission so that we could ask Dr. Bronston what his intentions are, because it's been sitting there for a long time. So, sir, if you could just step forward and just kind of give us an idea what your thoughts are for this particular property, so we can kind of get an idea where you plan on going with it.
Yes, thank you very much. There is some movement on the property. We're looking with some future investors, so we're hopeful to get something to the table soon. It has been a while, I agree, just about a decade, but we are looking to try to move this forward, and hopefully I'll have some good news for you by next year, but I appreciate if you could give us the extension for another year.
Thank you, sir.
Are you comfortable that extending the existing plat will cover the anticipated needs that you think may happen in the next year? Because, to be honest with you, I'd be real reluctant to do this again.
Yes, at this time, speaking on behalf of the LLC that I'm the managing member, we would like to extend it at least for one more year, yes. We would be comfortable with that.
Anybody else? Okay. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay?
Nay.
Was there one nay? Okay. Motion carries. Closed session, motion to convene in closed session under section 19.85, parent 1, parent E, for the purpose of deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public properties, the investing in public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. In this case, discussion and consideration of prospective consultants for the City of Onalaska Unified Development Code Zone Ordinance rewrite. If any action is required in open session as a result of the closed session, the plan will reconvene in open session to take the necessary action and/or continue on with the printed agenda.
Roll call vote. Mayor Chilson?
Aye.
Let me back this up. We need a motion to go into closed session.
Motion to go into closed session.
Second?
Okay, now roll call.
Roll call. Aye.
Jim Benash?
Aye.
Jared?
Aye.
Jan Brock?
Aye.
Paul Gleason?
Aye.
Craig Brightsprecher?
Aye.
Stephen Knott?
Aye.